Hello there, and welcome back to the channel, where today we are back with yet another News Bytes episode, and today we have a normal 5 topics, 5 upcoming games in the Tycoon simulation area, which you may or may not have heard of. So, without any further ado, here is the first game. Firstly, we have the recent announcement of Mondo Museum, a museum management tycoon game which allows you to create, construct, and curate your very own museum. Mondo Museum contains a whole host of features allowing you to create intricate layouts for rooms such as theaters, gift shops, exhibit halls, and more. Once you've built your museum, you're going to have to choose what you want to exhibit in it. So you'll have a choice of 100 different items in many different areas of museum stuff to choose from to basically put on show. Some of the ones we know about is space, there is Egyptian stuff, there's also dinosaur stuff. Those are the three we saw in the trailer. There's most likely more, as what was in the trailer was not that big. The game features a series of tense events and situations to keep you on your toes. Whatever you do, you must be prepared for these, or else you may lose your customers and your money, and that is something you do not want to do. Personally, I am pumped for the game. Museum tycoons are something new in the genre, and the pure possibilities of the topic is essentially exciting. So, if you want to see what the game is going to look like and what changes are going to occur to the game over the next few months as it comes to its planned release point of sometime in 2020, then I recommend you follow the links below. Moving along, we have a new game called Living the Deal. Living the Deal is a management tycoon game focusing on living life to the fullest. It's a bit like that game that released over a year or two ago now called This Grand Life. It seems to follow the same idea as that, and it's about a game of basically making the life decisions from a more top-down perspective compared to maybe The Sims 4 or something, basically following that person's life. Anyway, time in the game is your main resource. If you can manage it to the best of your ability, you can achieve much more than anyone else in your life, but mishandle it and disregard it, and you could find yourself in some dire situations. I've got academia running in the background. It's making tons of noises. I should have muted that. In order to find success, you'll have to balance your time with your health and your welfare. Make big decisions on the right deals, trades, and investments so that you can also become the best businessman or whatever line of work you end up doing as possible. The description of the game seems to focus on business management in terms of your job would be as like a business executive or something. Whether or not that is the only possible avenue in the game, I'm not particularly sure. Although you do get the impression it is a game about basically following someone's life, living that life of that person, but as someone who manages a company, which is a bit of a different experience. It's definitely a different experience compared to many games. Next up, we have the highly anticipated airport game called Sky Haven from the developers Real Welders. Sky Haven is an airport tycoon and simulation game focusing on the planning, construction, and management of your very own airport. Unlike recent additions in the airport area, such as Airport CEO or Sim Airport, Sky Haven is a 3D simulation with highly advanced building system, allowing for more detail on how you design and construct your buildings and your airport in general within the game. That seems to be the main difference with distances of the game from Airport CEO and Sim Airport, the fact that it is a more 3D management experience. I would compare it a bit more to Rescue HQ Tycoon, which you saw at the start of the year. At launch, the game is said to include an in-depth research system for progression, an in-depth set of management mechanics, a visitor rating system, which your airport success may depend upon, and a possible workshop support as well for the game. For more info and images of the game, see the links in the description below. There are a lot of people excited about this game, and it has been sitting around in the background for an awfully long time, and it seems it may come to release very soon now. It's getting close to that point in time in its life. Next up, we have a game called Mr. Prepper, which I've been calling Mr. Pepper for the last year and a half now, and it's not even called that. I've called it on bloody News Tycoon videos as well for some reason, but anyway. Mr. Prepper is a game about preparing. What for, you may ask? Well, nuclear war, of course. Mr. Prepper sees you building an underground shelter beneath your house, stocked with supplies, materials, and rooms required for the eventual apocalypse. Supposed apocalypse. The game sees you craft machines, trade with your neighbors, create emergency plans, all while hiding from the big bad authorities in the world. Personally, I find the game to be an extremely interesting concept, especially for a management game, and one that, unlike many other games recently, has not been explored elsewhere in the genre. Same as that Museum Tycoon, Mondo Museum, it's something much more different to the other games we've seen. For example, we've had many airport games, but we've not had many nuclear war preparation games, barely, Fallout Shelter, maybe. For more information and footage of the game, you can find the attached links in the description. It seems very interesting, and it seems very cool. It's been pushed back and delayed a couple times in the past year and a half, but it does seem it may release very, very soon, unless it is delayed further. Lastly, we take a look at the yet-to-be-released game, The Tenants. The Tenants is a game in which you have to become the new landlord on the block. You'll have to ensure your problematic tenants feel happy and safe to live in your building in order to grow your property empire. The game, however, will give you some challenge with problematic tenants disturbing the peace and destroying your property. You'll have to stay vigilant in order to survive in the landlord business. The game is yet to have a release date announced. However, if you want to see more information or footage on the game, we've got a trailer analysis on the game as well from a couple months back as well for you to check out if you'd like some more information. We don't really know much about it at this current point, though. Well, that is it for today. That is the end of the episode. You've had your 5 new games. You can go and do with that as you wish. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank Unseen Shadow for helping with these videos as well. His idea this was his idea for News Bytes videos, and they seem very popular indeed. If you've got any games or different areas you'd like me to explore, then you can tell me down below. But for the time being, that is it. So thank you very much for watching, and cheerio.